That's really interesting because like some of it is a little bit like tongue in cheek, funny for me to be like, yeah, over 3 days
Hmm.
we have these guys do a overview of their entire life, heal everything that's ever happened to them, and move forward. Like obviously,
Sure.
I know that's obviously not what you're saying, but like, if can you give me an idea of when Kyle came back, for example, how in what ways you found him to be different after going away, and then less than a week later, you guys are
For
touching base
sure.
to see how things are.
A big point, man, was signs. Like we're not. This is not like a faith-based program at all. But that divine intervention that he felt for signs that were happening, things like natural beauty that was coming up in very specific times when he was in really dark spots. And he came back and he just said, everything's meant to happen for a reason, man. And his perception and mindset shifted. He had this kind of paradigm shift. He was stuck in the mud and didn't have time. Ultimately, what it came down to, Michael, was he did not have time to deal with those emotions. He let it out. I mean, he cried it out. He broke down multiple times, and he was always trying to put on that facade to be like the strong man, the backbone of the house. But really, what he needed was to just empty those emotions and come back. And that's
Right.
really what it was for him. And really for myself as well. I mean, the stuff that I went through, I look at everything as that is meant to happen, and you can't connect the dots moving forward. We can connect the dots moving backwards, but we have to trust the process and what we've gotten to, for those dots moving forward. And I've hung on to that from the day I did my solo retreat.
It's really interesting, and because yeah, you have a lot of men that example. Let's say they don't have someone in their life that they can speak to, either some friends or maybe they don't want to
100%,
put
man.
that all on
Yeah,
their partner and things like that.
exactly.
And it's nice that they can go away and have instructions to
Yep.
care for themselves. I think that's part of it that I think a lot of men don't do, even have that sort of one-on-one self-love sort of connection. And how do
It
you?
is.
I guess it's hard, but how do you mitigate them being like disconnected um, electronically for that time?
Sure.
Because if you're going
Yeah.
to go away into a cottage or
Yeah.
wherever on a beach or wherever you're going to be, and then every 6 seconds you're checking your WhatsApp or your iMessage or your
Yep.
email or all these things, like I don't think you would ever get to a place where you could connect to yourself. Is there any ways you guys help them not try to
Yep.
escape these negative emotions that they're feeling?
100%. I mean, the phone is it's interesting to see like how we're coming back to like small, tangible, almost like prehistoric ways of interacting. And the phone causes so much chaos. I mean, let's talk about entrepreneurs for a second. It's constant decision fatigue. We're constantly having to make decisions every day. We're getting however many businesses you're running, multiple different
Yeah.
emails that are blasting, Slacks, email, everything, calls. To be able to shut that off and give yourself that permission, that solitude is truly a gift. So what we do is we actually provide a lock box in the box, you lock your phone away. I mean, it's really whether they use it or they don't use it.
Yeah.
It's that visual perception of I'm going to put my phone away and I need to store it away. And we've had a couple, over the years with it, it's kind of evolved into more of a do not disturb kind of retreat. So your phone is basically bricked. The only person that can come through is an emergency because we understand people have lives, people have kids, people have all that stuff. But what people like to do is they're, intentionally taking photos or whatever that might be, if that's what they want to do on their solo retreat. Because we encourage nature walks, we encourage, going to a prehistoric site, whatever that might be. Some people like to have their phone for that.
Right.
But really, one of the craziest things is seeing people come back and saying, man, putting the phone away for 3 days. Day one, I felt bored, lonely, alone, scared because I didn't have my phone.
Yeah.
They're literally touching their pocket and they're like, they're like bored. What do I do? Like, why can't I just pull up and start scrolling mindlessly? That is one of the most it sounds so dumb. It's one of the most impactful things of our whole solo retreat is shutting off the phone, and entrepreneurs particularly. And they take that and they move that forward in
Oh
their
yeah.
lives.